Do you want to make great home buying decisions in your 30s and 40s? I'm going to tell you 7 things I want you to be mindful of as you buy a home in these 2 decades of your life. This is Shaheedah Hill, getting you over the hill to home ownership and helping you confidently buy your first home. So I'm in my 30s or 40s, depending on which day you ask me. So I'm definitely, very well aware of the things you need to look out for in these decades of your life. So let's talk about the 7 things. Number 1 is neighborhoods. You definitely want to go to a neighborhood that's going to be going up in value, or if you can predict as much as possible that it will go up in value. So you can predict this by the school system. Is the school, are the schools rated highly? Are there new developments, new subdivisions, new shopping complexes? Are there new things coming, or are things shutting down around this neighborhood? Or a good way to figure out what's coming is by attending the zoning meetings of that city. They will tell you what businesses are trying to either come into that neighborhood or have already been planned to come to that neighborhood. You definitely want something to go up in value, because in the future you will be using the equity in your home in a variety of ways. So you really want to hone in on a great neighborhood, whether it's gentrifying or if it's just going up because there are more things coming in, more people are moving there, then over time, more than likely, it's going to go up in value. So be very mindful of that. Number 2, you may have school age children. For example, I have children that are in elementary school right now, and so schools were very important to us. They don't go to the top rated schools, but they go to a good school. I did this whole video about how your child can thrive in any school system or any school score. So depending on whether they're going to the worst schools in the county or the city, or the best schools in the county, because having the best scores doesn't, because I was a teacher for very long, doesn't mean that your child will get the best education. You really want to find the best school for your child specifically. And that means you want to visit the schools, you want to tour them, but I give you plenty of tips in this video, so I want you to watch this next if you have school age children. Number 3, paying over 25 to 30% of your income towards your mortgage. So this time in your life, you may still have some debt. You may be saving for retirement. You may have children that are going to be going to college in this time frame, depending on, if you have a family or not. You really want not to be house poor, so you can reach the other financial goals that you have in front of you. You definitely want to do that. Unless you have a really, really high income where you can cover everything, you want to make sure your housing is 25 to 30% of your take-home pay. That way you're not overly burdened with your mortgage, and you're still able to enjoy life. You're still able to pay off any debt. You're still able to save and max out retirement accounts during this time and help your children, if needed, for their college education. So you definitely want to be mindful of your budget as you prepare for home ownership. Number 4, if you're married during this time of your life, or if you're going to get married, I don't want you to automatically assume that both of you have to be on the mortgage. You may want to just put one person on the mortgage, and the benefit of that is that other person is financially not burdened on their credit by the mortgage. So if you guys wanted to invest in property, it'll be a little bit easier for you to do so with the other person not having the mortgage in their name. And then if you do, unfortunately get into some kind of financial difficulty like foreclosure or bankruptcy, or one of you, you can still use the other person. It won't damage the other person's credit or that sort of thing, because they were never on the mortgage in the first place. However, they can always be on the title. They don't have to be on both. Number 5, and please, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel for new videos every week. I want you to think about your parents potentially moving in. And this is more for people in their 40s or probably their later 40s. They might have parents that are in their 60s or 70s, depending on their health. I just want you to kind of think about that. If you plan on buying a home, do you need an area in your home? Do you need an extra bedroom? Do you need a bedroom on the main level? Do you need an in-law suite? If your parents may eventually think about moving in with you if they can no longer live on their own. So just something to put in your mind. I'm going to do a 50 and older video, and that's something I definitely want them to think about. But if you're in your 40s, think about what your parents, are you the person that your parent will more than likely move in with if they can no longer live on their own? And that might impact some of your buying decisions as you look for a home. Number 6, if you've had any kind of financial difficulty, bankruptcies, foreclosures, and you've started renting again. So this may not be your first home that you're buying in your 30s or your 40s. This could be your second home, and you kind of got discouraged because of a foreclosure, discouraged because of a bankruptcy. I just want to let you know, people are buying homes definitely after foreclosure, typically 3 years, and definitely after bankruptcy. Please do not let that experience discourage you from being a homeowner again. It happens all the time. Mortgages are not made for this, but they have things set in place so you can buy a couple of years, 2 to 3 years after either foreclosure or bankruptcy. So if you got your credit together, you have your income together, your finances, get back out there and buy a home. It's going to make the most sense for you in the long run. Number 7, and my last one, I still see a lot of people in their 30s and 40s with credit problems. Not because financially they're not able to take care of it, but sometimes they have so much going on in their life they don't make it a priority. So in your 20s, you kind of just don't know what you don't know. But in your 30s and 40s, you do know how to manage your credit. If you don't, have a full video on how to fix your credit. I've had a lot of people that watched that one video and went from credit scores in the 500s to credit scores in the 700s within about 3 to 6 months. So I definitely want you to take control of your credit in your 30s and your 40s so you're getting the best interest rates, you're getting the best opportunities to buy a home. So sometimes we have work going on, we have relationships, we have our children, and we don't really focus on our credit. You definitely want to have your credit under control with a high credit score so you can do the things financially, because your credit is ultimately costing you more money when you go either to borrow money, even if you're not borrowing money, on your car insurance. Anybody that pulls your credit, it's eventually going to cost you more money in the long run. So those are the 7 things I want you to be mindful of if you're in your 30s and 40s thinking about buying either your first home or your second home. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel for new videos every week.